Good morning, Little Masters, and welcome back to today's Tolkien Times, a Prancing Pony podcast production. I'm the Man of the West, and we're going to continue what we've been doing since week 50 here on Third Age Thursdays, looking at the poetry and songs from the Lord of the Rings. At the end of last series, we looked at the Song of the Ent and Entwife. Sorrowful, but with a bit of hope at the end. Today, we're going to stay in Fangorn for two more songs. We're going to start with Merry and Pippin hanging out with Quickbeam as he tells them of how the country where he lived had been ravaged by the orcs. "There were rowan trees in my home," said Bregalad, softly and sadly. "Rowan trees that took root when I was an Enting, many, many years ago, in the quiet of the world. The oldest were planted by the Ents to try and please the Entwives, but they looked at them and smiled, and said that they knew where whiter blossom and richer fruit were growing. Yet there are no trees of all that race, the people of the rose, that are so beautiful to me. And these trees grew and grew, till the shadow of each was like a green hall, and their red berries in the autumn were a burden, and a beauty, and a wonder. Birds used to flock there. I like birds, even when they chatter, and the rowan has enough and to spare. But the birds became unfriendly and greedy, and tore at the trees, and threw the fruit down and did not eat it. Then orcs came with axes and cut down my trees. I came and called them by their long names, but they did not quiver. They did not hear or answer. They lay dead. O orofarne lassemista carnemirie. O rowan fair, upon your hair how white the blossom lay. O rowan mine, I saw you shine upon a summer's day. Your rind so bright, your leaves so light, your voice so cool and soft. Upon your head how golden red the crown you bore aloft. O rowan dead, upon your head your hair is dry and gray. Your crown is spilled, your voice is stilled forever and a day. O orofarne lassemista carnemirie. The hobbits fell asleep to the sound of the soft singing of Bregalad that seemed to lament in many tongues the fall of trees that he had loved. Now, in 1955, Tolkien was writing to a reader by the name of Richard Jeffrey. He'd asked Tolkien for a translation of these names, and Tolkien gave it to him, saying, Orofarne lassemista carnemirie is High Elven, the language preferred by Ents, for mountain-dwelling leaf gray with adornment of red jewels. So does that mean there were three Rowans named Orofarne, lassemista, and carnemirie? Or was that Bregalad's name for all of his Rowan trees, like a group name? Now, sadly, even the famed Parma Eldalamberon 17 doesn't tell us for certain, but it does tell us something. Specifically, that although Orofarne literally means mountain dwelling, it was used in Quenya as a name for the mountain ash or rowan. So my hunch is that Bregalad, or Quickbeam here, is describing rowans in general, like the mountain ash, having gray leaves with adornment of red jewels. And now let's come to the second of today's poems, just a few paragraphs later. Suddenly, Merry and Pippin were aware that everything was very quiet. The whole forest stood in listening silence. Of course, the Ent voices had stopped. What did that mean? Bregalad was standing up, erect and tense, looking back northwards towards Durndingle. Bregalad picked up the hobbits and strode from his house. Before long, they saw the marching line approaching. The Ents were swinging along with great strides down the slope towards them. Treebeard was at their head, and some 50 followers were behind him, two abreast, keeping step with their feet and beating time with their hands upon their flanks. As they drew near, the flash and flicker of their eyes could be seen. Home, here we come with a boom. Here we come at last, called Treebeard when he caught sight of Bregalad and the hobbits. Come, join the moot. We are off to Isengard. To Isengard, the Ents cried in many voices. To Isengard. To Isengard, though Isengard be ringed and barred with doors of stone, though Isengard be strong and hard, as cold as stone and bare as bone, we go, we go, we go to war, to hew the stone and break the door. For bowl and bough are burning now, the furnace roars, we go to war. To land of gloom with tramp of doom, with roll of drum, we come, we come. To Isengard with doom we come, with doom we come, with doom we come. So they sang as they marched southwards. Now this is a mighty marching song with a very powerful iambic meter, right? Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. But the rhyme is strange. The end of each pair of lines rhymes, stone, bone, door, war, but there's this really weird, irregular internal rhyme to each line, right? To Isengard, though Isengard be ringed and barred with doors of stone. Though Isengard be strong and hard, as cold as stone and bare as bone. So you see the difference there. And then we go, we go, we go to war, to hew the stone and break the door. For bowl and bough are burning now, the furnace roars, we go to war. So it's just, there's rhyme there, but it isn't really regular. I have to say, though, it feels very Entish as a result. Definitely get the sense that, well, shall we say, Saruman's in a little bit of trouble. Folks, thank you for joining me for this week's Third Age Thursday. Be sure to come back tomorrow as I return to Fandom Fridays with some special guests this series. Check out patreon.com/Tolkien Times to learn how you can support the show, get an ad-free feed, join my content council, get a bonus weekly episode, and more. Podcast listeners, please be sure to subscribe to the TTT in your podcast apps. For those of you here on YouTube, please like and subscribe to this channel to get all of the PPP productions, including all seasons of the Prancing Pony podcast eventually, and both seasons of Rings of Power wrap-up, along with all the episodes of this show and my new streaming project, The PPP Plays. And be sure you're following at Prancing Pony Pod on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and simply the Prancing Pony Podcast on Facebook. Finally, as Faramir says, go with the goodwill of all good men.